historian.
I know I said I wasn't gonna ride him anymore, but I can't get to where I want to go today. Oh, well, ain't you just a specimen? You might want to fly away. Okay, this one looks in good shape. Alright, that's what I wanted to hear. Just a brief stop here. I'm at about where 158th would cross Burnside. This is the location of the infamous 1978, December 1978 plane crash that happened. Commuter plane went down, was circling the sky for a while, and the place that it went down was this apartment complex right over here. The pictures I've seen, it seems it landed pretty much almost right where this driveway is. This was an open field at the time, so the plane did damage to a few homes, but it didn't, like, completely destroy a bunch of stuff. So this is where it was, or where that event happened. And, like, you know, you can find, there's been documentaries done on that crash and all sorts of stuff. It's a pretty infamous plane crash. I did a video on it a long time ago, and all these idiots have come on there trying to tell me I don't have the right location, and I'm like, dude, I've seen diagrams, I've seen photographs, overhead photographs that literally show and designate where everything is. Sorry if I trust that more than your 40-year-old memories. Anyway, so big piece of Portland history there. That said, I'm gonna get over the street. See if I can even leave it here. I may be in Gresham now. Yeah, I can't leave it here. There we go. So I'm in Gresham. So that's why I had to ditch the scooter. And yeah, this is a very rough area. I mean, not really any more rough than some of the other places I've been, but literally just getting off the scooter, there was some questionable characters. Oh my god, I'm still looking like a dumbass. I literally would have walked endlessly with that damn helmet on. And you'll pardon me if I leave the mask on for maybe just a little bit longer. I know we're outside. I know the odds of catching COVID outside are extremely small, especially in Portland where there's a lot fewer cases than other major cities, but the COVID out here is pretty bad. It's worse south of here, but pretty much most areas, pretty much everywhere east of 122nd, there's a lot more COVID. There's also a lot more poverty. There's not a lot more homelessness, but there's definitely as much. So, you know, isn't it interesting? The roughest parts of town are the places where when there's a pandemic, it's always worse. And yeah, I get it. Some of those people are, you know, just not with it and not taking it seriously. Obviously, I get that. But beyond that, It's just that's always the case. And as a person who's lived in poverty my whole life, I'll tell you, there's a lot of misnomers about people who live in poverty. And there's like 4, well, I shouldn't say 4, I see only 2 for certain, but maybe more police cars stopped up here. Yeah, their lights are on, way on off in the distance. It may just be like a car accident or something. But anyway, the reason I'm going this far east is this is going to be its own vlog. It's not going to be in this video. This is just my therapy walk. But I'm going all the way back to Fairview, where well, let's just say my most developmental years were spent living in Fairview. Because they say, at least I learned in my developmental psychology class, the first 7 years of a person's life are like the most critical in terms of development. And we moved to Fairview when I was probably about a year old, year and a half, maybe at the most, maybe even younger. And we moved like 3.5 to 4 weeks before I turned 7. So yeah, my most developmental years were spent in Fairview, but Fairview's way off east of everything. So even after all that scootering, I have to walk like 60, 70 blocks just to get to like the main part of Fairview where I lived. Shalimar. It's like one of these little, like, we'll cram in a cute little neighborhood next to like a kind of sketchy stretch and make it seem like it's more appealing. Probably, I don't know, the houses did look cute, but that's not going to make me feel good when I'm only a block off of where someone's dealing their drugs. But speaking of being totally serious, I showed you, like, I'm still waiting for my new shoes to come in the mail because mail doesn't, like, get sent at a reasonable speed anymore. I have new walking shoes coming, but I showed, like, a few days back before my therapy walk, like, this shoe over here is finally so worn down that, like, a little hole has gotten through the base of it. So in all honesty, I do need to look out for like needles, because one of those could go right through there and have pretty much no obstruction before going right into my foot, and then I'm in a this is like a traffic stop is more what it looks like. But there's at least 3 police cars up here. What the hell? Yeah, I'm not sure. It looks like there's like a senior home there. And there was like at least one person sitting down on the walkway going up to the building, and there was a few officers talking to him. So I'm like, there's no fire trucks, ambulances, or anything like that. So obviously somebody at the senior home isn't having a major health concern, it would seem. Why are 4 Gresham police vehicles stopped in front of a senior home talking to people? What time is it? I had to see what time it is just so I can like maybe check police blotter. Alright, it's 2:38 right now. So probably somewhere in the earlier 2 o'clock hour. Look up Gresham police stuff, Steve, because I'm very interested in seeing what that is. So there's this park over here. It's not that big of a park. There's probably like it looks like there's like at least 60, 70 people there. Most of them not wearing masks, a lot of them kids, and they're all sitting with each other. You wonder why COVID gets so bad in these parts. Like, seriously, is people just not alert? It's like until you get it, people want to act like it's not a big deal, because it is a big deal, and that's stressful for everyone. But you know what really does a good job at quelling all this stuff? Is being responsible about this stuff. Like, I'm in an area where I already know going in there's a lot of COVID. So I am I am vigilant about avoiding people. Even now when there's not a lot of people around me, I'm still keeping my mask on because you never know when someone's gonna pop out. It's just this basic stuff. Don't gather in big groups. One of you has COVID. Like, it's one big thing. Ooh, free furniture. Who couldn't use a dresser with a missing drawer? Jesus, nobody is wearing masks out here. And I don't mean like out here, I mean like over by the stores, by the entryways. Nobody. God, just ridiculous. So not too much more traveling till things finally start opening up. I just went through the intersection of 181st, which when I lived in Fairview, the number of times I went up and down 181st between Halsey and Division, I can't even count. It was just a regular thing. All the stores we went to and stuff were there. Ooh, a little kind of hidden piece of property here. Something used to be here. That's interesting. Yeah. And this Rite Aid over here says they do COVID testing, so don't want to go anywhere near that. But overall, the legs are feeling okay so far. I remembered to put some, well, today I put deodorant on my thighs. It's a fairly proven winner, at least 90% of the time, so that the longer I walk and scratch my thighs together, I won't get that thigh burn that I get, 50% of the time that I do longer walks like this. So I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like randomly recognizing things from my childhood, or at least I think I am. This apartment complex right here is triggering memories for me. Like, I swear I remember passing that. Man, that was the best. That yard back there had, kind of itch without really touching, but yeah, that yard back there had bones and skulls sticking up out of the ground. Say what you want about the Gresham part of Gleason. These people know how to celebrate Halloween. Approaching 190th and Gleason. Wait a minute. Oh my God. Oh wow. I'm pretty sure this is the spot. I love how the moment I thought about it, it hit me. This blue house here on the corner, right in front of me. Boom. That is the house that one of my mom's best friends, when she moved to Portland, God, now I can't remember her last name again. Sherry. Last name started with a B. Sherry. Oh, God, I can't remember. Anyway, this is the house that she lived in. And St. Patrick's Day, 1984, I believe. Again, I haven't looked at this case in a while. She was murdered in this home. I never thought I'd see that house and actually video it because it's so far out here. What are the odds that I would look up? Because I've looked it up on Google Maps just to see generally what it looked like. And then I looked up, I saw like 190th and Gleason. And all of a sudden I started thinking, hey, I'm kind of getting out to that area that my mom's friend lived. And then I saw that house. And it went off. And her name was Sherry. And this is the funny thing, is I can't remember her last name. Now, it started with a B. Anyway, that was one of the main things that kept me from, hell yeah, UPS. Did you hear that guy getting down on that thing? Anyway, one of the things that kept me from doing a video about that was I didn't know her last name, and then I finally found it. Sherry. It wasn't Sherry Buckman. Sherry. But yeah, that's her house that she lived in way back there. Well, now it's behind that fence, but yeah, she came home after work. Was just gonna change and go to a St. Patrick's Day party. And in that short time she was supposed to be home, this guy came in and killed her. I mean, maybe he was already broken in and waiting for her. Yeah, just brutal, brutal crime. And one of the reasons I wanted to do a video about it was not just that my mom knew the guy, and this woman who died was one of her best friends, but he also made threats against my mother. I did a video about this. I did a really long live stream about it. So you can see those if you want the really in-depth details of what happened, but that is so random. Like, seeing that house just triggered that part of my brain. I was like, oh my God, that's the house. Right in front of me. Haven't thought about that case in months, and then I look up and all of a sudden it's like, that's her house. I will remember her last name. Brockman. Sherry Brockman was her name. God, I knew there was a B in there. But just bizarre that I would randomly pass that and remember it at the right time. But yeah, that crime, and the fact that my mom, this guy started stalking my mom because he worked with Sherry and my mom. So this guy apparently thought he could kill, or at least target multiple women he worked with and get away with it, which I feel like, you know, once two women are murdered that worked at the same place, you're going to develop a connection. But anyway, this guy stalked my mother, called my mother. My mom told me the story about how this guy called her and left her like a, I don't know if she answered it or he left it on an answering machine. But yeah, he'd call her and tell her that he saw her like in the store looking at pantyhose. And it scared my mom so bad, she left. She went back to California where she grew up for at least a few months. And had my dad not really pushed her to come back, and had my mom not really wanted to live in that town any more than she had to, she may have stayed there. She may have gone somewhere else. And I may have never been born, or at least if I was born, I probably would have been a completely different person. Who knows what I would have been like, where I would have lived, what would have happened. I don't know. So yeah, it's wild to think about this guy, who I regard as a serial killer, because he targeted more than one woman, and he tried to kill at least two. It's just wild to think this random guy, could have, perceivably, and in some ways did, have such a massive impact on my life, and create a scenario wherein the circumstances of my life could have been completely different. Whew! What happened to the traffic? Uh-oh. There's Gresham police vehicle. And I'm a jaywalker. Honestly, if he turns around and busts me for jaywalking, like, fuck him. Seriously. Who doesn't, like, seriously, I don't even understand. Like, I understand jaywalking being an issue because people just wander out in the street and get hit and be like, well, it's not against the law for me to wander on the street. But, like, look at the traffic. That's why I jaywalked. It's because literally there hasn't been a car that's passed me in like almost a minute. It's astonishing to me to see Gleason that empty. Not anymore. And yes, for all of you that are gonna get your pants in a wad about the fact that I'm wearing my mask so long. There, are you happy? Sorry, I'm protecting my health. We've started having a slight spike in the general, well, in Oregon. Oh God, I'm in Rockwood now. Ugh. I was always in Rockwood randomly for some reason or another as a kid. And I remember it just scaring me. I think I'm right on the border of Rockwood though. Like, I think technically I'm not in Rockwood, but across the street, that's Rockwood. So I'm like right across the street from it. Rockwood, I mean, honestly, I don't really know. Because I haven't been to this area much in the last 25 years, but historically speaking, and oh my God, there's a nail on the ground. Don't step on that. It's a good thing. I was looking out for needles. I know my dad's friend Dick used to live in this area, and for some reason looking down this street like triggered memories of him. And I want to say he might have been one of his friends that lived in this area. I'd probably remember what his house looked like if I passed it. Okay, so it doesn't quite open up as much as I thought. I have to get to the other side of 202nd, which is right around this corner. That's when it kind of starts to open up. Oh man, this is the Gresham Fairview, like, it's like a path that goes, it cuts right north and south. Yeah, it's the Gresham Fairview Trail. I've always wanted to walk this. And logistically, I could just go this way to Halsey, but I'm not going to, and the only reason I'm not is because to start my actual video, I want to go through like this little wetland. But yeah, I've always wanted to walk that. Jeez, you are a tall, thick, that is a dummy thick pole, and we got a bunch of tires. Anybody need some tires? Like, they're here. Oh man, I was about to make a crack about how I love going to sketchy corner markets, but I'll never go to the Rockwood market because that's got to be ultra sketchy. And oh my God, I remember this place from my childhood. Look at this market over here. How could you forget a place like this? Yeah, I so remember this market. It hasn't changed since I was a child. And here's where it opens up. I mean, look, it just like civilization just stops. Oh boy. Free mattresses. So I finally made it into Fairview, and as I was vlogging, I went the wrong way. I wanted to just go this way, and I ended up kind of doing this on accident. So I was trying to walk this way off of Gleason, and then I ended up right back at Gleason at that intersection there. And I'm walking down the Fairview Parkway, and I was just talking about in my vlog about how anything that exists, like that over there, whatever that is, Kids Center, I don't know, all these apartments, anything that exists along this road today most likely wouldn't have been around when I was living down here, since this stretch itself didn't exist. And you've got, I did a little walkthrough of here. It's like the Salish ponds. There's like these two good-sized ponds and walking trails, and it's pretty nice. And this just wraps down to Halsey, which is essentially what I wanted. So ain't no biggie. I just ended up a little off my planned route. So yeah. Well, also there's not too much along this road because a lot of it, over here is, wetlands and wildlife. So they wouldn't really be able to build anything out here unless they were total douchebags. What the devil is this concoction? That is a lot of dirty stuff. That is so much dirty stuff, I can't wrap my brain around it at this moment. Can I cross? Yeah, nobody's coming. Oh, geez, this thing's lined with poison oak. Except, Jesus H. Okay, nobody's coming. Somebody's coming. Wow, this turned out to be a lot more big of a pain in the ass than I thought it would be. Thank God there was no traffic. Okay. I thought, oh, I'll just dart across this island and all this traffic and it won't be a problem. And then I look and I just see it's lined with poison oak. Yeah, I noticed there's a Target over here. I can kind of see it through the bushes. Guarantee you that Target was not here when I was a kid. I didn't even know Targets existed till I was like 10. And I'm back with you guys. It's been probably about a little less than an hour and a half. I just did my Fairview video, and that's Reynolds Middle School in the background, which when I was a kid living in Fairview, this was Reynolds High School before Reynolds High School moved to Troutdale. So as I was a little kid, starting kindergarten and first grade, living around here, the general understanding is this would have been where I would have gone to high school. Of course, not knowing that they would relocate it further down the line, but this could have almost been my high school. Here I'm coming up to Halsey and 201st. And it's just so funny returning. Part of the thing about returning to Fairview is, as an adult who knows a lot more about the Portland area in general, God, you realize how just far disconnected you are from everything. Like, I'm like 3 or 4 miles just from the east border of Portland. Like, we're just, I mean, obviously it's Fairview, it's Gresham, like, it's civilized world, but it's so weird to me now, having lived so close, well, predominantly having lived so close to like the Willamette River and been so central in the central portion of the Portland metropolitan area. Being this far east is like, I mean, it is like you are in another sector of the state. You are in another county. You are in another state at this point. It just freaks me out, man. You know what happens when I get freaked out, right? Jeez. That was a bigger dip than I planned for. I gotta throw my back out on that one. So I am officially, as of a couple blocks ago, I am officially back in Gresham. No longer in Fairview. And hell yeah, brother! Oh, hell, oh my god. I bet that second one. I didn't realize there was 2 of them. And right as I yelled, hell yeah, brother, the second one was passing me, and the guy riding it kind of tilted his head like he heard me. He's probably like, damn right, son. Damn right. Anyway, as I was starting to say before that happened, it smells like old bacon around here. Like the last like 3 or 4 blocks, I'm smelling it just smells like old bacon. Like you got some bacon, you cooked up your bacon, you set the bacon down, you let the bacon get cold, you let the bacon get colder, and now the bacon is cold and it's just starting to get a nasty smell to it. At least that's where I'm at. I'm just dragging my weary bones west on Halsey, hoping to someday find Portland again. Ooh, another big water facility. They're everywhere. Man, throwing out your... Oh man, that person had Burger King and Carl's Jr. And just threw your crap all over the street. And your masks. That's great. Pieces of shit. Rockwood water? Okay, there's no way I am in Rockwood right now. Alright, well, since I ultimately would have to start maneuvering my way south anyway, I just hooked off of Halsey onto 195th, so I'm still like 110, 120 blocks from home. But I'm just gonna weave my way through this area. This is actually kind of nice through here. It's certainly is quiet. Trees look nice. Yards look fairly well kept. It's just, you know, when you live in any part of the Portland metropolitan area, a neighborhood can shift on you at any moment. So you still get confused, like, holy crap, what happened? I like it. Very nice. Very, very nice. Very charming. I'm kind of walking into, Gresham. Gresham is kind of shaped like a soup ladle turned on its side with the handle pointed up to the north. So I'm kind of walking through what would be the handle of the ladle of Gresham right now. No joke, that's literally, Gresham is, it's almost kind of shaped like Oklahoma, but a little thicker. But yeah, it's pretty nice. You know, I like these little neighborhoods where the streets kind of weave a little bit, because that's not super common in the Portland area. What the heck? Wow. Intersections get whack in North Gresham. This crap's making me dizzy. Am I still going west? It appears we've reached an end. It's a, well, okay, well actually no, this is a pretty good sized park. But there's a lot of construction going on in the middle of it. I'll tell you what. Kirk Park. That's simple enough. Kirk Park. I gotta tell you, when I think of the name Kirk, no, I don't think of Captain Kirk. Rather, when I think of Kirk, I more think of, if you're out on the road. That little stunt by itself will probably keep me from being able to monetize this video. And it was worth every penny. This isn't okay. It's kind of one of these elongated parks. Very long, but very thin. And there's a school over here. There's a path that leads there with some signs, some signage. I wonder what this is all about. God, something I would have really loved to do would be go to a park, sit at a bench and write, but in these COVID days, I just don't know. Ew. This is what happens when the water fountains get turned off. They just collect. Okay, so I don't know. Should I risk it? I feel like these paths, unless this path doesn't come back around this way, so this path must exit out somewhere. Probably exits out on this road over here. I'll figure it out. And in classic me fashion, with a long way to get home, which should be a simple over and down route, I have to turn it into some kind of zigzag to make it longer. Oh man, that view though. Girl. Aha. Splendid. There is an exit point that actually takes you onto a street. And there's a guy over there picking through someone's dumpster. Either he's scavenging or he accidentally threw something away that he didn't mean to. Okay, I don't even know what road I'm on now. Thanks, Kirk Park. You were okay. Okay, so just checked my map app, and by going through the park instead of cutting through the school, I've actually created, of course, a more difficult route to continue going west and south. It's going to be a little hectic. I'm going to have to straddle this road for a little while and then cut across 181st, which is a very busy street, at a place where I'm pretty sure there's not. It's a long stretch without stoplights though, so maybe there'll be one of those sporadic like crosswalk things where you hit the button and it's like, everybody stop, even though you have the right to not to. Yeah, because as you see here, dead ahead, this road just ends. Like it all ends. I have to go this way to 181st, which, whatever. It's slow progress, but it's progress, I guess. Some discarded goods. I'm sure some people have hopped this fence and lived in here. But hey, for how staggered I am, I'm getting to see the panhandle of Gresham. So, you know, find the positives wherever they're available. Oh boy, okay, we've come to 181st. And this is a situation where I may just have to dodge traffic when it opens up. It's actually a little open. Nick's Pizza and Sports Bar. Has that been around a long time? Because that looks really familiar to me. Waiting for the moment. Ah, shit. Well, I thought I had a moment. Okay, maybe. Have I got a shot? Nope, I don't have anything resembling a shot to cross. The Rockwood Dental Office? Nah, I ain't going to the Rockwood Dental Office. No thanks. Besides, it looks like M-Dog took over. Okay, I have another gap here, but I never have a gap from this direction. Okay, I've got to have a gap coming. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. I did it, America. And I'm only perceivably 19 blocks away from being back in Portland and potentially being able to get my hands on a sweet little e-scooter. Hopefully. I need to check that too. Does this look like a trusty eye care place? I don't know. This is where I wanted to get to. Pacific Street. And this street just kind of weasels along for a while. Thanks, 181st. It's been real. But these are my more preferred routes where less traffic, less people. Just a man and his drone. It's a beautiful thing. So, what is this? Looks very, very rural here. Like there's no, maybe it's just houses back from the street. Anyway, so I started, now that I'm getting closer to the Portland border again, started looking up scooters, and the only scooter that is like in my frame of the direction that I'm walking in is the scooter I had earlier. It's still sitting there at 162nd and Gleason, and I don't want to even imagine how much COVID has been spit up on that thing in that time. Ooh. Yeah, this seems like an unnecessary dead-end street. Nobody's houses are there. Yeah, it looks like there's just... This reminds me a lot of... There was a friend my dad had, and we would go to their house, and I remember it being a little back from the street with a... Not too far back, but a little back. With, like, just a lot of trees and space in the yard in front of the house. There's like a house... I don't know. This is just kind of woodsy. It's interesting. It looks like there's a house over here. Maybe this is a park. No, I think that's just homeless people. Never mind. It's not homeless people. It's just a bunch of people having themselves a little social gathering. Isn't that great? I guarantee you one of them has COVID. At least one does. But this is kind of cool. Like, it's just like a forested area. If those people weren't back there having their gathering, I might be inclined to venture down one of these trails. What is this? This is Nadaka Open Space. Huh. It's like a park. It's park space, I guess. So this is a park, but there's like a bunch of... There's like some kind of gathering happening. I'm seeing a bunch of these tents, and there's people wandering around like they're having a job fest. Are they having like a job festival? I would totally love to walk through this park, but not with all these damn people here. That's unfortunate. I didn't even see that pop up on my map app. It's like this cool little nature space. Are these trails, or I don't even know if that's a trail. Maybe it's just a Turtle Rock. Okay, like that's just too adorable. Just in case anybody ever doubts me, yes, I did pay a visit to Turtle Rock. I don't know if that's what it's called, but it's 2 rocks, one painted like a turtle shell and one painted like a turtle's head. So, I don't know what else you'd want me to call it. So I didn't get to visit the park, but at least I got to visit that iconic site that I didn't even know existed 2 minutes ago. Alright, so I'm going to keep evading Gleason up there for a few more blocks. But I've decided if it's still there, I'm taking that same scooter I had earlier. It's still got like at least half a battery left, which will be more than enough to get me home. And I'm getting a little tired.
The sun's starting to go down. I've got my exercise for the day. I'm going to get more than 10 miles in, so I'm not worried about not getting enough physical activity in. So I'm on Oregon Street now, which gets me pretty close to 102nd, and then I'm going to try to get that scooter as quickly as possible, because when I was there earlier, like, just surrounded by people. Nobody was actually like right up next to me, but it was just like everywhere I looked, I'm like, I don't want to go that way. I don't want to go that way. It was just, it was a real gathering spot for some suspicious characters. So, have my helmet popped on, phone out, scanned, boom, go. And, I might beeline down, because Burnside's the only stretch that I know has a bike lane, a legitimate freaking bike lane, all the way back towards my side of town. So I'll probably do that, get off around 106th, cut through there, and that'll literally take me in right by the old folks' home, and I live right on the other side. So that's my plan. It reeks of gasoline on this block. What does that mean? Like, literally for about a whole block, I just smelled straight gasoline. Now I'm kind of losing the scent. Ooh, going full Halloween. Very, very nice. I like it. I like your support, even though I don't think anybody should be trick-or-treating. I think that is so abhorrently selfish. People think their kids are going to suffer like a traumatic breakdown if they can't go trick-or-treating one year. If I knew people could be trusted to, do it in an organized fashion, where like people don't actually have to go up to your house, like you can somehow have candy outside your front door, but know that like kids aren't, taking a whole bunch of it at once, which, can you do that? Probably not, unless you had some really sophisticated system. And I think it is so selfish for people to be like, oh, but we have to have, like, you can celebrate the spirit, you can decorate your yard, you can watch your horror movies, you can dress in costumes. Me and my girlfriend aren't going anywhere on Halloween, we're still going to dress in costumes. But it's just, I'm sorry, with everything we've experienced in relation to COVID, the fact that people are being so selfish about, oh, my poor angels can't trick or treat, no. And it's like, fine, you know what? That's the way you want to be? Fine, be that way, but don't expect me to feel a lot of sympathy for you when your kids get sick. I'll have all the sympathy in the world for the kids, because a lot of them don't necessarily know any better. You're the one that's pushing it. If you're a parent whose kid is healthy, you push them to do trick-or-treating, and they get sick in the week or two after that, I don't have 1 ounce of sympathy for you as a parent. I don't want to see you going on Facebook and being like, oh, my poor angels got COVID. Oh, it's like, you had the power to prevent this, but you had to put a random little thing like going to your neighbor's doors and getting candy on a random holiday that has nothing to do in and of itself to do with going to your neighbor's houses or getting candy. Sorry, there's my anger rant. People won't take this. People still do not take this shit seriously. And they think because the numbers are low that they'll be fine. It's like, yeah, there was a little thing called the numbers were low last spring. And then y'all got lazy and we had this horrible spike that pretty much ruined everybody's summer. Because everybody was like, oh, the numbers are down. We can do whatever we want now. We could end up seeing some of that same stuff with Halloween. Adults having their parties, kids trick-or-treating, all that shit. So, yeah. All that said, I think I'm getting close to the street that I'm going to turn down, but yeah. As far as I'm concerned, it is absolutely insane to take your kids trick-or-treating. I wouldn't even dream of taking my kids trick-or-treating in our present climate. And for the record, I don't even want kids. So that's my rant. Take it or leave it. Oh, son of a bitch. The scooter's gone. The scooter's supposed to be right there. Someone's taken it in the last 2 minutes. Okay, next Okay, there's one at Burnside and 161st. However, I finally see the end of Gresham. I'm still in Gresham, but those apartments across the street. That is, oh, hello. I'm so close. Oh, yeah, because I'm, of course, right when I was in the middle of that little Halloween's canceled 2020, don't forget to use the hashtag rant, really started feeling the weight in my legs. Not horrible, but I was really finally like, oh, thank God, I can get me that scooter. Coming out on 162nd towards Gleason. My scooter should have been right there, but it's gone. My baby's gone. It's also the first time I've put my mask on since I was on Halsey because sketchy. So the guilty parties there, those two little bastards, they not only took the one at that intersection, they took the next one down here at Burnside. That was my second option. So now I don't have one. I gotta go like another 15 blocks. That's what sucks about trying to get them on the fringe of the city, is there's a lot less of them around. So there's like a couple down here that hopefully in like 10-15 minutes will still be there. I would be home by now if it wasn't for you meddling kids. Alright, only 5 more blocks to go. Hey, my mom worked there back in the 90s, or late 80s, start of the 90s. So I remember reading at one time, this was considered the most dangerous intersection in Portland. I don't know if that still stands, but it's 162nd and Stark. My mom used to work at this intersection. Yeah. It's like a Oak or Elks Club type thing now, but this is called Pier 101 back in the late 80s and start of the 90s. And my mom worked here as a bartender. That place is how I got introduced to and addicted to maraschino cherries. Come on. Like I got like 5 blocks south of here, there's a couple scooters. And with how they're disappearing and dropping like flies, I kind of feel like a sense of urgency. And by the look of it, the scooter's on this side of 162nd, so I don't think I have to cross the street. That is if some jackass doesn't get to it before me. Have you ever thought, I'd love a place to go wash my car and also score me some crack. I think this place achieves that. Like seriously, when you've got a car wash that looks that banged up, like there's some other stuff going on. You gotta have something else on the side. There's no way you're scoring a reasonable living wage running a hellhole like that. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. This area though, she be ratchet. Just like, no, get me that scooter. I gotta get out of here. All right, girl, I've shifted back to my GoPro because I see the scooter. I literally see it right now through the bushes. It's far enough away that on the GoPro you wouldn't see it, but I've got you ready. I've got my tape ready. Just need to get my helmet on, get my phone out, score me a scooter. Somebody literally just took it like a minute ago. That one is gone. Okay, so now I have to go down the street. There's one like another 5 blocks down Main Street here. Jesus. I see someone get on that scooter. I'm gonna drop kick them. I swear, death will befall anyone who tries to take this scooter. Death! I can't see it yet, but I know it's gotta be just like another 3 blocks up. Should be right around this corner. I swear to God, if somebody took this, if that is literally the 4th scooter that I've missed. Wait, maybe I see it, I can't tell. I'm gonna scream. I'm literally gonna fucking scream. No, I'm not quite there yet. Okay, I thought I was to the point where it would be at. What the F? It literally says it's right here. Okay, now I'm past it. It literally says I just went by it. You have got to be kidding me. Wait a minute, this implies that it's like, oh, God damn it. Okay, well, like, it's showing that it's like on someone's property now. So someone's literally taken a scooter and like put it on their property, so like it's not on the street. It was literally just on the street and now it's not. Whoever lives in this house, I'm gonna lose it. I'm done right now. Alright, so I was on Main Street. I turned off. I'm now going down this like conglomerate of streets that all just kind of ramrod together. Cause there's a couple of scooters down on Division. The deal on the blue dot, I'm going south. There's these 2 scooters. There's even one a little further south. It's on a residential street, which those are ones less likely to get taken, so hoping I make it. But while I may be wiped out, I'll tell you what, my walk-in pedometer app is proud of me. He's like, you've walked 12.5 miles and still going. Woo! Whenever you hit your daily steps count, it shoots graffiti up. Yeah, they're elated. Okay, damn it all, there should be a scooter over here. Unless it's on my side, but it implied it's on the other side. It's supposed to be a scooter. Right there. Now this is, I don't see it and I'm not taking the chance. There's a bunch of sketchy looking people down there. There's one a block and a half this way. And it's still there. I just gotta get to the other side of 158th. Oh my God, I see it. I want to run in slow motion like chariots of fire. I found one. We're going home, boys. God, I'm so happy. Come on, boy. That's what I like to hear. All right, let's hit this and hell yeah, brother! You and me both. All right, this thing's coming on. Okay, no, it works. All right, let's go home. Maybe? Come on. Come on. Go. Faster. There we go. The child wakes up from his slumber. On this thing are garbage, so at least I know that. It's not really that big of a deal. Once you let up, it kind of slows down. God, this is a beat up one. I hope I make it home on this thing. This scooter's barely. Yeah, I can barely get this thing to fucking go. Yeah, this scooter is in some rough shape. Oh man, I'm back down to like 10 miles. This scooter just doesn't know how to deal. Yeah, it's a very janky rod. Please tell me this is get up to Market Street where I live, and then it's almost a beeline home. Not the market, just Market Street. I feel like I'm that guy that's been like driving a vehicle that's needed to get repaired for like 5 years. And I'm just like, come on, give me one more ride, girl. And it's just wheezing and dying. I mean, it's probably not too far off from reality, considering people just beat and ride these things into the ground and don't give a shit. Down to like 4 miles. Yeah, I can't make it. It's petering. It's petering. It's alright, I got you. Oh yeah, no, the battery's also dying now, so yeah. I'm gonna keep pushing you. I'm gonna make sure you get me to that 122nd. I mean, considering it's only like 3 blocks ahead. Man. The latter part of this adventure really just kind of came off the rails, didn't it? Like, I know I'm not fully dead. It's giving me like it's giving me the same level of speed, but that battery bar is flashing. I don't think my scooter's long for this one. I think you're about to pass away. What I do without my scooter boo? Oh boy. Yep. I think. Well, I don't know. She's holding at 7 miles an hour. I think. Yep. I don't even know if I made it 30 blocks on this battery. Oh, it's dipping. 6.8 miles an hour. 6.4. Come on, we're so close. We're like a block. You gotta do one more block, girl. I know you got it in ya. I know you got it in ya. You got it. I know you can make it. Yes. Yes, you can do it. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you.
make it the rest of my trip. Hell yeah! Yeah, you bet your ass I took that other scooter. I've had it with today. I've done my patience, and I'm going home in style. I did have time. Patreon and help me out that way if you want to. Until next time, my friends, this has been Steve, the amateur historian.